Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Oh my gosh, hello and welcome to Oldie but a Goodie. Zach and I, we're on break for the next 3 weeks, and you know what that means? When our current day selves go on break, our older selves come out and talk about movies. And that's what's happening over the next 3 weeks. In between this little break, in between episodes, we're going to be releasing all 3 Mortal Kombat reviews. I'm very excited for this. We've mentioned Mortal Kombat, the movies, a lot on the show recently, during our 90s reviews, because the 2 90s live-action Mortal Kombat movies are so iconic and so 90s that people are just constantly mentioning them all the time. Whenever you talk about 90s movies, those 2 movies get brought up. And so we reviewed them, actually, over on Patreon, and you're going to be hearing those for free next week and the week after that. But for the first one, we actually reviewed the Mortal Kombat series a little bit out of order. We started with the 2021 live-action film. We actually went to the Melbourne premiere for that. So you're going to be hearing our thoughts straight off of that right now. Gone back 3.5 years for this episode. Long time. Back when Patreon was fresh, we were just trying to figure out what we're doing with it. The energy is a little bit lower. The audio quality is not as good, but I love these episodes. I think they're a lot of fun. I hope you have a lot of fun with them as well. And speaking of Patreon, patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod pod is where you can head if you want more episodes like this. We've got a massive back catalog, and we've actually just changed the way that we're doing episodes over on Patreon just the other day. As mentioned last week on the podcast, Patreon have added a new feature where we can actually sell individual episodes rather than people having to sign up for a subscription. You can just buy an episode, and then you keep it forever. Even if you unsubscribe, like, if you are subscribed, but you also want to buy an episode, then you keep that episode forever, even if you're unsubscribed. I think it's really cool. I think it's really accessible. They've also added the option to buy, like, a series of episodes. So you can just buy the Police Academy episodes, or you can just buy the Friday the 13th collections that I've put up that are basically half price. You keep them forever. It's great. I think it's a really cool way that Patreon is letting people interact with creators. I love it. I'm glad that they have finally, I've been asking for this for ages. I'm glad that they finally implemented it. So that's up at patreon.com/oldiebuddygoodypod. You can still sign up just for $3.50 a month and get new bonus episodes, one new one a month, and ad-free episodes. You can still do that. We've changed how the back catalog of bonus episodes works a little bit. So you're not going to get access to everything if you do that, but you will get access to a pretty good chunk, and then you can go back and check out some of those older episodes in a new tier that we have added as well. The back catalog tier. I think it's a good tier. It's got so many episodes. So many episodes in there. It's ridiculous. And by all means, subscribe to that higher tier, download all the episodes, and then unsubscribe. That's fine. You can do. You probably didn't even think that you could do that, but you can, and I give you my permission. And Zach does too, probably. Anyway, here's the review of Mortal Kombat 2021. Enjoy the episode and enjoy the series, because it gets very weird immediately after this.
Yeah, right. Welcome to the Mortal Kombat review. How you doing?
What is this voice? What are you doing?
I'm not sure. I was like, I'm going to do a voice to start off the review, and this is what I landed on.
Oh, fantastic. I love it.
Well, because technically, right, this is a film made by an Australian director, and it stars an Australian actor, and it was filmed in Adelaide.
Oh boy,
so it's very much an Australian movie.
Right, so we should have Australian accents throughout this entire movie.
Now, I just remembered people paid for this, so I think I'm going to go back to my normal voice.
You know what, that's fair.
Mortal Kombat.
Bing, 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 bing.
What is that? That's a different thing.
It's probably Crazy Frog or something.
Yeah, probably. It's a bit late, but whatever. Mortal Kombat the movie. We reviewed it. We saw it. We went and saw it. You met Sub-Zero. He was Yeah, cool.
Ha ha! Yeah, he was pretty cold.
Ooh.
No. He was Sub-Zero, so it was just pretty cool.
He looked a lot whiter and British than I thought he would.
Yeah, well, in real life, yeah. That's what the guy in the suit looked like. Yeah.
Look, the movie's out. If you haven't seen it, it's also been released online, so you can go watch it if you want.
Yep.
We'll start off the review with first impressions. Look, it's not necessarily a good movie, but yeah, watch it.
Wow. Okay, that's an interesting take. I'd say it is a good movie. In a sense.
In a sense. Yes.
And it's definitely above 50% on my tomato meter.
Yes.
Even if by only 1 or 2% is still above 50%.
I think I would rewatch this before I rewatch Godzilla vs. Kong, but I think Godzilla vs. Kong is like a lot better than this movie.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Maybe that's just because I don't know much about Mortal Kombat, and I'm kind of like, this movie's made me go, now I kind of want to get into Mortal Kombat a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the story in this a little far from the old apple tree.
Look, I bought Mortal Kombat 11 the other day and went, I probably shouldn't just start playing it and just get into the story, like, without knowing everything. And then I looked it all up and it was like, yeah, look, Raiden changed the timeline and now has been imbued with the spirits of and the peoples are attacking, and also Sub-Zero is dead but is now a nephew of Liu Kang, or Jax is a robot. Yep. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Welcome to Mortal Kombat, where the story doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. We just want to see the guys punch each other.
Yes.
And rip a few spines and or hearts out.
And that's what this film did very well.
Yeah.
Aside from the spine ripping. No spine ripping. Spoilers. No spine ripping.
Yeah, well, there was a few spines, but there's no spine ripping, I guess. I'm pretty sure someone grabbed some spiny bones.
Maybe.
I can't remember. Anyway, what I'll say is, first off, yeah, they had pretty R-rated kills.
Oh, yes.
Which is a plus. But second off, I'll say what I've been saying, which is, it's really cheesy. It's cheesy with a side of ham. They embrace it, which is what I feel like makes this film rather than breaks this film. If they tried to take it more seriously, and, you know...
Yeah, I'm torn. Because on one hand, I'm like, I would have liked the entire movie to just be that, like, feudal Japan flashback. Just have that be the whole movie.
Yeah, but that's a different movie. That's the problem. A solo film where we just see Scorpion versus Sub-Zero back in feudal Japan would be very cool.
Would be cool. I would watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where you need your Avengers universe once again. The Mortal Kombat ECU.
Well, they're doing like 5 of these apparently, so...
Oh, fantastic. Yes, I knew it. Did I not say that I knew it? I knew they were going to do this bullshit. As soon as they were like, there's all this established universe we're making, and I'm like, you're establishing a lot of universe for just a Mortal Kombat film.
Yeah.
You know for a fact that this is all fucking bullshit, and the director's like, all he really wants to do is get into the part where they fight. The whole reason certain things happen in this film is to just establish the universe. And I'm like, you don't really need to do that. We're only here to see some guy's heart ripped out.
Yeah, that's all I was there for.
So clearly they were setting up stuff for other films. Especially the endings. Spoiler alert, they have a bit where it's like, oh, see you in the sequel, bye!
Yes. Yeah, we'll get to main spoilers later, but that does happen. That very much does happen. I'm looking at, like, who wrote it, and it's not written by the director, so you're probably right, because the director, like, does the action, well, reasonably well. I'll get to the editing a bit later on, but the writers are one of the guys writing the new Resident Evil movie. Oh, and the other guy is, like, writing Shang-Chi, Spider-Man 3, wrote Ant-Man.
Nice.
So that's cool. That's probably where the comedy comes from.
Yeah, you get a little bit of that Marvel comedy You can taste it. That little.
Yum, 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 yum.
Yep, that's a bit of Marvel comedy right there.
Ooh, it tastes like raw sugar with a hint of cinnamon.
Yes. And then coated in cheese.
And cocaine.
Because it's... Yes. And that's Marvel comedy.
That's just because Robert Downey Jr. No, that is a... No, I'm not making that joke.
Wow. So, it's a Patreon episode. We can make terrible jokes and no one will ever hear them ever.
No, it's true.
So my number one compliment is they embrace the cheese.
Yes.
And it really makes the film and it makes it super enjoyable. There's a whole lot of scenes where it's like, this is so cheesy it hurts, but it's hilarious and fun because of it.
Yeah, you're right.
The number one downside, I think, from this film is that the pacing is really weird.
Yep. Well, the pacing and the story.
Yes. The story affects the pacing, and the pacing affects the story. They're both sort of intertwined. The problem is it has weird pacing. So the first part's super slow.
Well, the first 10 minutes are incredible, and then it gets, like, super slow after that. Because you got the flashback.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's got the flashback, which is awesome. It's sick. And then it goes from this super high note that it starts off with to the low note of the next, 15 minutes after that of nothing happening at all.
It does the disaster movie thing where we're introduced to an original character called Cole, and it's like, I'm just a guy, I've got a family, and I'm trying to make things work for my family, but I'm also gotta fight.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't care about any of this.
Yeah, actually, can we talk about him? I guess we'll talk about him soon enough, but
No, we can talk about him now. There's no structure on Patreon.
Yeah, that's fair. I hated him. Well, not so much hated him, I thought he was just so unbelievably boring.
So that's an original character for this movie.
Oh, it's an original character.
Yep.
No wonder it was so fucking shit.
Because Warner Brothers were like, alright, if you're gonna make Mortal Kombat, fair enough, make a Mortal Kombat movie, but the audience needs an entry point. So the writers were like, okay, well, we can't use any of the established characters as an entry point, we'll just create a new one who's got, we'll talk about it in spoilers, but he's got one of the most stupidest powers ever, and he's just a boring character. He's just really boring.
I liked his first part of his power, and then his second part, it's like, why did he get these extra? And then, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm fine with his power. I thought it was cool.
Okay.
But his storyline really irked me the wrong way.
He's not really an actor either. He does a lot of, stunt work, and that's about it. Although he might be in a TV show.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think his acting was actually fine. It was just, his character in general.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Lame as hell. Yeah, so the pacing, first minute, super high note. Next 15 minutes, super low note.
Yep.
Then one character gets introduced and the movie turns it up to 11.
Yep.
And it's fantastic for the rest of the film up until the end where it starts to slope down and sort of peters off.
Yeah. The end where you're like, okay, cool, we're getting into the third act, let's go. And then the movie ends and you're like, oh, okay, well, that's the film.
Correct. Yeah. It just peters off and it's like, oh, is this the ending?
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the training part of this film. I didn't mind that so much. I think probably because I don't know anything about Mortal Kombat, so having the training kind of helped get used to some of the world and stuff, but I know some people that don't like that part of it particularly, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, well, because it's we're training to do the thing, and it's well, it's established in the other ones, they just had their thing.
Yeah.
You know? I'm trying to say this without any spoilers, but we should just get into it and get through the film so I can spoil everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we can talk about some of the cast then before spoilers. The one we've got to talk about has to be the Australian actor hamming up the Australian way more than anyone asked him to, but it's incredible. As Kano, who honestly feels like he's in a different movie.
Correct.
But I thought it was great.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. So, who's the actor?
That is Josh Lawson.
And he saves this film. He drags it out of the lull it's got itself into the action. And it's not just him that's good. The movie turns on the action once he appears. So not only does his incredible lines and hammy acting just suddenly appear on the film. The film's like, okay, in action now. And it's just like, whoa, the film just flipped on its head.
It's so weird because it's like, as you mentioned, the first flashback, incredible. Then you're thrown into, Cole, I've got a family, got to take care of the family. I'm like, I don't care. Then we are introduced to Sonia. And I'm like, that's an Australian actress, but she's doing an American accent and is taking me out of the movie. But she's good. Her accent's not great, but she's good.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, a lot of exposition. I don't really care. And then Kano comes in and you're like, here we go.
I did have a good joke. Minor spoiler, where he goes, they didn't even spell Mortal Kombat right.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a classic joke.
Oh, that was funny, though. That was funny.
Yeah. That one was a funny joke because it comes out of nowhere, where they're just doing exposition, and he's just like, oh, they didn't even spell it right.
One thing I do want to mention, because we went to the Melbourne premiere for this, mainly full of critics and people who do things in Melbourne. Vague, I know. And, with Kano, it was so funny because either the entire audience was laughing or he'd say a joke and no one laughed. There was no middle ground. It was everyone laughed or no one laughed for all of Kano's jokes, which was great. I liked that a lot.
Well, they were really hit or miss, but, some of them are really funny. Some of them were like, yeah, all right. I think everybody at the end was, a little sick of Kano.
Yeah, he sticks around for maybe a little too long.
But it sort of solves itself, you know?
It does. Other characters I want to mention, I really liked Megcab Brooks as Jax. He's Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl. It was cool to see him in a role where he had something to do for more than 10 minutes. So that was great, because in Supergirl he was just like, oh, I guess I've not love interest anymore. I guess I'm just gonna bash up a criminal.
Great.
That was him for most of Supergirl. So it was cool to see him as Jax, where he had something to do for most of the film.
Yeah. He definitely has the dumbest power. Yep.
Obviously, Sub-Zero and Scorpion are both great. I mean, look, Hiroyuki Sanada, who plays Scorpion, is incredible. He's so good.
He was awesome.
I love him in everything.
Even his cheesy, and everyone's seen this, it's in the trailers, even his cheesy get over here, which makes no fucking sense, because he only speaks Japanese throughout the whole movie.
Yep.
Even that is actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Even though how cheesy and stupid it is, it's still awesome, because he's awesome.
Oh, I really liked as well how in the beginning they made sure that Sub-Zero spoke Chinese and Scorpion spoke Japanese.
It was very distinct that they made that thing. Yeah. You explain it, because it's one of the best scenes in the film.
Yeah, because in all of the other Mortal Kombat movies, they just speak one of them. It's you can choose. Yep. They're both either Chinese or they're both either Japanese. In this, they were no, they're different. And that was really cool.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
Yes. Any other cast members to mention? Not really.
Yeah, Raiden's weird. He's fine. He's whatever. I don't know. He was just there.
Yeah.
And he wasn't disappointing for me, which is fine. But he wasn't as epic as I would have hoped.
No, not yet. Maybe later on he'll get more epic. Yeah.
No harms. Maybe later, we actually get to see him fight, which would be great.
I liked how he was hey, bad guy leader of the Outer Worlds, you're cheating. But if I tell the Elder Gods you're cheating, that would be me cheating, so I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no. But it makes sense, because you're not supposed to interfere. Okay, we do need to talk about Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Yes.
Because they are awesome.
What?
Liu Kang and Kung Lao are awesome.
The characters are awesome.
No, you're not allowed an opinion, Sandro. They're awesome.
Were the actors any good?
I think they were fine. They were fine for what they did.
Yeah.
I think Kung Lao with the hat one was actually pretty good.
Oh, the hat was cool.
I don't know. I thought their acting was fine. It was a little, yeah. But, first off, Kung Lao ripped his shit.
Yes.
Holy fuck, is that boy ripped.
He is.
But he, has his robe on the whole, first part of the film. And it's like, oh, yeah, don't know. He looks like just an actor that they've got in.
Yeah.
And then at one point he takes his robe on, and he's just gone from, neck down, ripped.
Yeah.
Absolutely toned. And it's like, whoa, where did this come from?
That was good.
Oh my lord, this man, he is made of steel. So that was great.
Yeah, that was good.
I think he's a great choice just because of that. I love, look, I'm a big fan of the hat as a weapon. But, he was always my favorite because you would throw a hat and it would, chop a cinder block in half or some bullshit. It was like, how is a hat that sharp and how does he wear it without, when he picks it up, cutting himself,
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love that. And so I personally really liked his fight scenes.
He was good. Oh, the one person I didn't like at all was Cabal. Probably just the voice.
Baal, who is that one?
He's the guy in, the mask. He shows up at one point.
Oh, right.
And I was like, I don't like this at all.
Yeah, he felt like a weaker Kano.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry, I'm just going to mention it. You're criticizing the acting in this film. And I feel you're missing the point, Sandro.
That's the thing, though. That's why I'm so torn, because I've got a lot of problems as well with the editing and with some of the fighting. It's not a particularly well-made movie, but it is fun, and that's all I wanted from it. So, even though I'm going to go through some technical notes that I have, they don't really matter, because the film itself is fine, and it's fun. But the editing was kind of bad. I didn't like the quick cut editing for most of the action sequences, because a lot of the reason why I like martial art movies is long sequences where it's people actually fighting. In this, every punch got its own cut, and I didn't like that. I thought that was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Kind of Jason Bourne-y, which, ugh.
Yeah, I feel like at the end, we definitely had, they kept cutting between different fights. And I didn't like that, because I would have liked them... Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I would have liked there to be a longer, fight scene. The only long fight scene we get is the one at the very end with Sub-Zero and Scorpion and the main character whose name I can't remember. It's still jump cut, but it was at least focused on the one fight for a long time.
But yeah, it was still jumping around a bit, which was fine.
Yeah.
I think maybe the opening fight didn't, because there's the scene where Scorpion is ripping into some goons, and that was one shot, I think, and that was cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, which set your expectations for the fights like that one, which is probably why it annoyed you more.
Yeah. The other problem with the fighting is, yes, the fatalities are incredible, and they are so gory and disgusting.
They're exactly what they should have been. So that's definitely my number one praise of this film, is the fatalities are exactly what they should have been.
They are just fantastic. I like them a lot. Yeah. But the lead up in the fight to the fatalities, for me, kind of felt like a Marvel movie. It kind of felt like a very bloodless punch-on that... I was like, no one's really getting hurt in these fights. Aside from maybe the Jax one, it didn't feel like people were getting hurt until the fatalities. It just kind of felt like they were equally powered people punching each other, and then there was a completely brutal death.
That's how the games work, though. Yeah. I feel like that was very true to the thing. They just, punch on, and then one of them will get, stunned, and then some guy will come over and rip his head off, you know?
It was true to the fights. I just kind of wanted maybe people getting hurt a bit more. But also, that's again me being like comparing this to like martial art movies.
Yeah, I feel like the Kano one. Oh yeah, Jax as well. Kano and Jax at the start, they had... It's, once again, the movie sets expectations and then changes it later on. And I feel like that's a constant problem with this film.
Yeah.
And so, for the rest of the film, Sandra goes, "Ooh, all the fights are going to have these injuries on people that are going to last." And nope,
not at all. Not at all.
Once we get into the actual fight things, it's just like,
Yeah.
Do or die.
Which was a shame, but also, like, again, this was exactly what I expected it to be, and I had fun with it. So,
Yeah.
while I've got a lot of problems, it's fun. Watch it.
Well, howdy there, listener. It's me, Sally McSeller, back with another podcast ad. And I tell you what, the boys, Sandro and Zach, they've been on patreon.com/oldie but a goodie, doing something a little bit mischievous. What's that, I hear you asking? They've been reviewing the Friday the 13th series again. They're back at it with number 10, Jason X. Jason goes to space, Jason in space, here's a clip.
I think the problem is it's a little too middle ground.
Yeah.
And it needed to be either a much smarter sci-fi film.
That's not gonna
or
happen,
a much
though.
or yeah. or a much stupider, goofier, better kill side of thing. Or even like in the middle, just a better horror film in general with the better kills.
I think
right?
I think like a gorier version of this would work. I think a gorier, funnier version of this, like Friday the 13th. Is it the 6th one where they're like breaking the fourth wall? There's the James Bond intro. That one is hilarious.
It is. That is true. There is a bunch of comedy in this film. It tries to be funny, but it isn't very funny.
It tries to be like, it tries to be self-aware, but it doesn't really work because we've already seen Friday the 13th be self-aware, and that movie was a lot better than this.
I think that's the thing it struggles with. Is like it tries to do too many things. It doesn't really do any of them particularly well.
Oh, they certainly are getting to the end of that Friday the 13th series, and they finally reached the one that they were excited about, which is the one where they're in space, they ran out of ideas, and they put the series in space. It's Jason in space. Yeehaw! Hey, but here's the thing. If you go to patreon.com/oldie buddy goodie pod, you won't just be able to get that episode, you'll be able to get the whole back catalog of every single bonus episode they've ever released in their entire lives of Oldie but a Goodie. And also ad-free episodes, too. That's pretty good. Yeehaw! I'm an American.
Let's talk about spoilers. Spoiler warning. Spoilers. Biggest spoiler of the movie is they don't ever get to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. What?
That was weird.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things where if you go like you don't notice it at first. You're just like, oh, the movie's ended right now, and then someone goes, they never got to the Mortal Kombat bit, and then you go, oh yeah,
yeah, because like thinking about it now, the plot of this movie from beginning to end is Scorpion, Sub-Zero, they fight. Cut to present day, Cole Young got to take care of family, but also got Dragon Tattoo, gets brought in, trains with Raiden. Bad guys are cheating, kill all the bad guys. He's like, I'm gonna go to Hollywood. Movie ends.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's not really an arc. It's just kind of stuff happens. Which is a shame.
Yeah, but like, we're not here for the story. But it is weird that we never got to the Mortal Kombat. Obviously, they're saving that for a sequel. Where, what they're going to do is they're going to get more characters from the Mortal Kombat series, and once they have enough, then they'll have...
Oh yeah, because they kind of killed everyone.
Yeah, but they gotta bring my boy, Kano? Not Kano. Well, they're definitely bringing Kano back.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the eye with a thing, right?
With a garden gnome.
Gnome. Great. Yes. That was so... I was like, oh, great, Sonny's gonna rip Kano's legs off or something. No, he just gets stabbed in the eye.
Nah, but it's ironic, because he spit on that gnome earlier, right. Sandro. It's a comeuppance.
The film...
Yeah. You should have got that lesson, Sandro. Never spit on a gnome. You know, otherwise you'll get stabbed in the eye. And it's ironic as well because that's the eye that shoots the laser, Sandro. That's his good eye that he likes.
There was a line at some point maybe in the middle of the movie where someone's like, we've got to train hard, Mortal Kombat's in a week. And that was the part that kind of made the expectations that we would eventually get to the arena.
Yeah, no. It like felt like originally the movie was going to go to a Mortal, like have them having those like fight scenes were them having Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But then they changed it, and so at the end they have them. I think Raiden or someone says we'll make our own Mortal Kombat because you know they're cheating, so we're going to cheat a bit by fighting them.
Yes.
That's not the real Mortal Kombat, and they never actually get to the real Mortal Kombat.
No, they don't.
But they definitely need Luke Cage. Is it Luke Cage?
Luke Cage, Johnny Cage. Although, Luke Cage would be pretty cool.
Luke Cage would be pretty cool, but would just be the main character, but better.
Yeah. I mean, actually, he would be a reluctant hero who's got a family to look after. Yeah, it's just Luke Cage.
Yeah. It's just a worse Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Because at least Luke Cage is cool. Whereas he's very purposely lame. I'm going to talk about him right now, because it annoyed me. Because they start him off with, he's a downbeat, like, he used to be a really good fighter, but now he's not. That's not very exciting for me.
No.
I don't want to root for this guy. Like, I wanted him to have a, like, resurgence where it's like, oh, there's a reason he's gotten shittier. And, like, now that he's back into the fighting game, he starts becoming really good at fighting, and everyone's like, whoa, this guy's really talented.
That's not what happens, because instead they're like, oh, you're really good at getting beaten up, so we'll give you a suit that lets you get beaten up, and then that's your power.
And, okay, let me go on this. I like endurance fighting.
Yeah.
And I like endurance as like a thing, and I like the idea of this suit, which allows you to absorb hits really well. I think that's cool. I like it. But the problem is your main feature is getting shit on.
Yep. And he's meant to be the main character.
Yeah. And he's meant to be the main character, and it's just like, why was he able to summon weapons as well?
I don't know.
That's cheating. Also, we've never seen him use weapons before.
Yeah.
Ever before he summons them. His character is just not good.
No, not really.
The actor's fine, and I actually quite liked the actor. I thought he was good.
Yeah, he's good.
But, his character's dumb. And it's like, they should have had some sort of thing. It's like, okay, now that he's had a family or whatever, he's gone soft. And then they murder his family. Just straight murder his family. And then he becomes a murdering machine. He becomes like his ancestor, Scorpion.
Yeah.
He becomes like a fucking ruthless killer.
Yeah.
And then he starts just like, slicing people up. That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. I'm even thinking, like, a better main character would have just been Sonya. Like, she's like, I've researched this whole time, and I'm in the Mortal Kombat, but I don't have the tattoo or something. That could have been a cool arc, like, a cool story for her. And just have her as the main character.
I like how she just gets her power off screen as well. We've shown all these... it was really dumb. It was really dumb because we've established a fact that... every one of them had to, like, work to get their powers. They have to, like, train, and then their powers will appear or something like that. But she gets hers off screen, and we never... I feel like there was a scene.
Yeah. But
it just got cut, and therefore she just randomly comes in and shoots lasers out her fists,
Yeah, she shoots them at Piranha Face Lady. She was cool. She looked cool.
Piranha Face Lady? You're gonna get hate mail for that.
I can't remember what her name is. Melina? Is that Melina? I don't know.
Not that I know the name, but she's like an iconic character.
I know she's iconic. I don't know half the characters' names. Also, all the scenes in Outworld were kind of dumb. Oh, we should talk about Goro.
Yep.
That was disappointing.
Well, I mean...
like, I don't know.
Fine. Was it Goro, or was it Was it just like one of his race?
It says Goro in the credits, but again, just like Reptile, it's probably just one of the race. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely getting resurrected and stuff. I thought he was fine. He was just kind of a goon, though.
Yeah.
He looked cool. He did some bashy shit, but he really didn't do much. He just kind of got his ass kicked after wrecking house.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
Which is a shame.
Oh, well.
Anything else to say about this movie? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, the theme tune. They remixed the theme tune and it's dubstep now.
Yeah, well, they were going to do that. We knew that. There was a few things I wanted to talk about in the spoilers. So, the first scene is really good, where they have Scorpion speaks Japanese and Sub-Zero speaks Chinese.
Yes.
And Scorpion's like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Yep.
But I'm gonna kill your ass.
That's good.
And everyone was like, hey, that's great. That's great. And then they have a fight, and then Sub-Zero says some English shit, for no reason.
I hated that line where he was like, Bihan is dead. I am now Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, no. It was really bad. And I'm like, why do that? And it's like, they could have done something else, like, they've got to hide his identity. Or, like, they could have been like, oh, this isn't him, it's a different person, it's Sub-Zero. But then it's revealed later on, no, it is him.
Yeah.
He's just, or, like, there's a killer on the loose, and their code name is Sub-Zero, or something like that. They could have done something a little bit smarter than, no, my name is Sub-Zero now. It's like,
Okay.
Oh, okay, sorry, your name's Sub-Zero. Everybody, respect his name.
Yeah.
Call him by Sub-Zero now.
And he's also immortal / can't age now, until he dies, of course. But cool.
Yeah, well, when you team up with the bad guy who can suck souls, he can
that's
probably
true.
grant immortality. He probably can like suck a soul and then
Yeah, put it back in, yeah.
pop in your new, give you a fresh new 100 years.
I want to ask you the question of what exactly summoned Scorpion out of hell at the end?
It was the blade.
Oh, that's right. Actually, yeah, no, I remember now. That's right. It was the blade.
Yeah. It was the blade that was coated in his blood, and then it met his family's blade, and that summoned him from hell.
That's right.
Yep.
I want to see a whole movie of him in hell. I just want a Scorpion movie.
Yeah. Scorpion was definitely way cooler than our main character.
Yep. There's the cool parts where, like, he breathes fire, but then he covers his face with the mask again to, like, rejuvenate. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah. It was interesting that he didn't keep his skull face.
Yeah.
'Cause obviously, Scorpion has a bit of a scully face when he does the fiery breathing.
And I was kind of thinking as well that, like, Cole would just get his powers as well, because there's, like, flashbacks where, like, Cole's dreaming of the blade.
Yeah. Instead, he gets a suit of absorb.
Yep.
Which I like. I like the what is it? The Black Panther suit, where it's like you absorb hits and then you can like use the kinetic energy to fucking yeet people.
Yeah.
I thought they were doing something like that.
Yeah, and it works when you are Black Panther and have a character.
Yeah, and you're actually cool.
Yeah.
And it's like established that you are kicking ass. The problem is they go like at some point that they say he has talent. But they never establish that, or they say he used to be good, but he's not good anymore, so his talent isn't useful anymore. You need to have some sort of redemption thing where he starts kicking ass again. They just presume they did that throughout the film.
Yeah.
Which is lame.
I really hope, as much as I don't entirely love Johnny Cage as a character, I kind of hope he's the main character in the next one, and not Cole.
Yes.
That they kind of swap it, and it's a Johnny Cage movie. Because even though, like, he's not my favorite, like, Mortal Kombat character at all, I think that could be probably better.
I feel like he could be more interesting if he just started kicking ass more, and they went, wow, you started kicking ass. You're cool. Otherwise, he's just not, like, a cool character. Which is what the rest of the entire cast is. They're, like, cool. Whereas he's just kind of a family man.
Yep. You know, actually, what would be really cool is if they do a G.I. Joe 2 in the second Mortal Kombat film, and it just opens with, like, Cole getting absolutely obliterated.
Wow.
Like, he just starts, and the first fatality is just, oh, he's dead now. But yeah, we'll see. What do you want in a sequel?
I cannot wait for Johnny Cage.
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to be, like... You think you've seen cheese now. His character doesn't... His character in the games is way too cheesy for the game.
Oh, yeah. Who could play him? Because, like, obviously, like, it was Van Damme in the 90s.
Yeah.
Was meant to play him.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, yeah. Is he too old? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a bit old nowadays, but he had He had the same build back in the day.
He's not buff enough, but, like, Tom Cruise would be hilarious. That's Johnny Cage.
Tom Cruise? Yeah.
That would be...
that would be funny.
No, it's obviously John Cena. Obviously, it's John Cena.
Yeah, of course, John Cena. Yeah.
There we go.
You could have someone like Vin Diesel as well.
Oh, he would bring the cheese. Oh, you could go the guy that plays Drax in Guardians as well.
Oh, yeah. He would also do well, I feel. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what buff boy they bring in to play him. And that's definitely the most anticipated thing. Obviously, a few more of the characters, like I'd like to see more of the Outer World and explore that with all the different, like, there's loads of characters that they could bring in.
That would be cool.
Like, Baccarat. I think it's Baraka. And he is just a spike man. He is full of spikes and has blades and also has, sharp teeth. I'd like to see Reptile again.
I want to see the planet or the world of Reptile. Just heaps of reptiles. Just take us there.
Reptile's one of my favorite characters, so it's just like, I'd like to see more of him. That's definitely what I'd like to see.
Alright, we'll wrap it up there. Is it the film an oldie or a goodie? I'm going to give it a goodie, I think.
I'm going to give it a goodie, yeah. It's definitely really fun to watch, and it's like, you watch it one time, maybe in a couple of years I'll come back to it again just for the lols, you know. Once you forget the majority of the jokes, you know.
Exactly.
It'll be good again to watch.
Alright, well... That's that film done. Don't know when the next new movie we're seeing is. There's not much out, actually, for a while. But that's fine. Because over on the Patreon bonus episodes, which are coming out in the same place this is coming out, we're doing Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And oh boy, I am not looking forward to these, but also I'm very much looking forward to these.
Yeah.
The way that's going to work is usually a bonus episode would drop next week, but we're going to push that back 1 week. So basically the 2 middle weeks of May, you're going to get both Mortal Kombat movies like back to back. Have you seen them before?
No, I don't think I have. So I'm in for a ride by the sounds of it.
Yeah. I mean, you like the Street Fighter movies, so...
I like the Street Fighter movie solely because of the villain. And he's one of my favorite actors of all time. So if they don't have the best villain in cinematic history, I don't know. Might be a bit hard to sell me on your shitty movie if you don't have the best villain.
Who are the characters in the film? Raiden, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Shang-Chi, Sonya. Oh, Katana! That's a character that was missing from this one.
So that's a good character to bring in.
Oh no, Kano's in it. Oh, he's Australian in it. Uh-oh.
Crikey.
Alright, we'll see you then. Thank you so much for listening, for subscribing. You're the best. We'll see you then. Bye.
We love you, Patreons. Mwah.
If there's one thing that my family and friends know me for, it's being an amazing gift giver. I owe it all to Celebrations Passport from 1-800-Flowers.com, my one-stop shopping site that has amazing gifts for every occasion. With Celebrations Passport, I get free shipping on thousands of amazing gifts. And the more gifts I give, the more perks and rewards I earn. To learn more and take your gift giving to the next level, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.